CFP quarterfinal at the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. Number 5, Texas. Number 4, Arizona State. It's going to be played in Atlanta at 1 p.m. on ESPN. Texas, another huge favorite. Second week in a row, they are the biggest favorite of the weekend. 13.5 points against Arizona State. Give me some of your picks and predictions going through this one, man.
I wanted to point out something. Everybody pretty much in this, what is it, the quarterfinal?
Yeah, quarterfinals. Yep.
Yeah, quarterfinal.
I almost called
Everybody
it the
in this,
semis, too.
yeah, same. Everybody in this quarterfinal is pretty much averaging almost 30 points a game
Yep.
in offense. So that's what makes it really interesting because I know George is darn near 40 points per game. But I digress.
Actually, no, Georgia's averaging like 31, oddly.
30, yeah, that's right, 31.
Yeah,
They were
averaging
31,
31, giving
and it
up
was
21.
yeah, and
One of the
Texas
better
is right
margins.
around that margin as well.
Right.
Um, Texas, I think, is going to win by about 13.
Wow.
Um, just because, like, I know Arizona State absolutely boat raced Iowa State,
Right.
and that's part of what got them their seed.
Mhm.
I could definitely see that. Because I mean, they did play some lights out football in that game. Kenny Dillingham got his guys ready to play.
Yeah.
But I just think they're going to meet their match with Texas. They haven't played anybody with a caliber like Texas. And
Mhm.
I know we banter back and forth about have they really played anybody, and I can see your argument there as well. But I do think they're considerably better than
For
someone like an
sure.
Arizona State. Now,
Yeah.
part of me is hoping I eat crow on this one because that's like an unsung hero of the playoffs is Arizona State. They've gone farther than anybody ever imagined.
For sure.
So uh,
Overachieved, playing with house money at this point.
exactly, it's like, hey, the ball's in your court, man. What are you doing?
Mhm.
So, but I still see Texas. They just got the better roster.
For sure.
Better. They got the better quarterback. They got the better running backs, receivers. I mean, they're just elite talent, top to bottom.
Yeah.
They damn near beat Georgia that second time, and it's hard to
Right.
beat the same team twice. It really
Yeah, it
is.
is. Georgia
Um,
toughing it out with a backup quarterback. I mean, all the respect to both teams in that one.
yeah, and Sarkisian has had his guys playing SEC football for the last 2, 3 years, even before coming to the SEC.
Yeah.
Just to get them prepared for what it's going to be like. And honestly, their first season, they make the SEC championship.
Yep.
That's really good.
Yep.
Steve Sarkisian from that Nick Saban uh, tree, so you know he's going to have his guys ready to play, and it's going to be to a tune about 34-21 is what I see.
Yeah, I'm not too far off on that score prediction there. I'll save it for the end of the take. 100% agree with you about Texas being the better team overall, outmatching Arizona State. Texas should win this game by 14 plus points. And when you look at the roster aspect, like you said, coming into the year, Texas was ranked 4th in terms of roster strength, while Arizona State was ranked
Correct.
30th. Only part of you I'm going to push back on is Texas does not have the better running back. Cam Scattaboo kind of quietly over there with
That is
Arizona
true. I
State.
didn't think about that.
Really only of, one of the bigger highlights of the team, about 1,600 rushing yards, almost 20 rushing touchdowns. So not on an Ashton type of level, but, nobody can be on an Ashton type of level
No,
unless you are a Barry Sanders, a Reggie Bush, a Mark
Bush,
Ingram, a
Bo
Derrick
Jackson,
Henry. We know, a Bo Jackson, some of the names that, Ashton might have, maybe not played
Dalvin
like,
Cook.
but right, but kind of resembled. And Scattaboo is really the big time highlight of that Arizona State offense. But when you look at Texas has the second best defense in the country in terms of points and in terms of yards. They're the 9th best defensive rush yards per game, well up there in yards per carry defensively as well. So running backs do not have it easy on this Texas defense. And you got to ask yourself, can Scattaboo possibly find a way on or through this Texas defensive line, even make plays up into that secondary? Because that's going to be the only way, again, kind of like Penn State against Boise State. Texas can make more mistakes in this game and win more than Arizona State can. I don't see a world in which Arizona State wins this game, much like Boise State, without having a huge game out of their running back. So kind of similar matchups, big underdogs, big time rushing games here. One team majorly outmatched by the other. And we just understand that it's a difference of talent. It's a difference of culture. These football programs have been built at very elite levels, and two great teams that are here in front of us. But Texas being favored by 13.5, I think it's no shocker there. Arizona State comes in, 199 rush yards per game, 18th best in the country, 42 carries per game, which is a little staggering, 12th best in the country, and actually 61% of the time also they run the football. But I got Texas winning this game easily, actually by a little worse of a standard than you did, 35-14. I think Texas wins this one comfortably. I can see Scadaboo maybe getting a couple of touchdowns here, but again, second best defense in the country. Texas has been in a couple of dogfights with Georgia, which is really the
Right.
best part of their resume. So I think they're going to kind of resemble a lot of that, encapsulate a lot of that in this game and ultimately be able to go on to win. And, a big shout out to Kenny Dillingham getting his squad here. I mean, no question about that. But when you
Right.
look at what Sarkisian's done, you mentioned it with the SEC play. They've been one of the better teams all year, whether I like it or not. And we're
Not
going to see them have a probably the biggest win of the weekend, if not have it, being Penn State.